Welcome to truly the last one on this channel, okay? For real. Because I didn't realize that you can't make the first broadcast on a channel live. So they were making me wait. I had to apply and stuff like this. And so then they still didn't like approve it or whatever. I don't know. So, but next week, see, the link to the new channel is in the description of this video, okay? So go down and subscribe to the channel. It's called Thrive Like a Viking. It has the picture from all these thumbnails of me going like this, whatever that even means. I just chose that picture. I don't know. But you tell me what it means. So it has that picture as the thumbnail. And so you can click there. Because when we switch over to the new channel, guys, we need to we need to really make it, relevant quick. I mean, you have to like, the algorithm has to see, okay, activity. That's what's good, all right? Because we want more and more people in the tribe, all right? What image is not focused well? Here? Yeah, maybe it's because it is so cloudy here that it's almost like evening time. I mean, it is super cloudy, rainy. I love this weather. It's fantastic. Especially up here in the studio, everything is nice and cozy, and got the essential oil. That was what I was just doing. Put on some of the this Niuli. They sent me this one for sort of a like a free gift, and then also the kumquat is. So I like these two. Very much. Super energizing. So I mix them two together. Yes. Brita Damgard from Denmark. Hello, my friend. Brian. Hello. Val. Good to see you. PA. What's up, my friend? PA says, hi, tribe. Rain? Clouds? What is that? Yeah, I know. I can imagine. If you're in Portugal, yes. When I rode my bicycle through the south of Spain, Andalusia, from Madrid, I rode through Cordoba and Toledo and all these other places. It was very much like Greece as far as the countryside, very dry at this time. But here, thankfully, we're having a great growing season, guys. It is so wonderful because it's like 80, 85, 82, and kind of cloudy most of the days now. Some sun, definitely, but man, things are growing real well. So, okay. Rachel, Successful Garden Design says, on day one of my second master cleanse. Okay, your second master cleanse. Nice. So you know what to expect. So let us all wish Rachel with Successful Garden Design a successful master cleanse. Yes? You have nothing to lose, my friend, except years of stored up toxins and the emotional, energetic, vibrational sort of frequency that comes at the time that you consumed this stuff. This also happens. So if any of you guys have done the master cleanse and day 3, 5, 8, whatever it is, 20, and you start feeling all this crazy flood of emotions and things like this, things you haven't felt for a long time perhaps, this is the toxins coming out of the body, because they can also store the energetic frequency that you were in at the time of consuming these things. So a lot of people, when they're in sorrow or when they're in sadness or misery of some kind or self-loathing, they will eat, because the chemical reactions, they will eat garbage food and the stuff that is really excites the taste and everything. And they will do this because it makes them feel a little bit better because of how terrible they feel inside. And so they will do this even though they know that they shouldn't be doing it because it's unhealthy and they're overweight and all of this, but yet they still do it. And it's this cycle of self-loathing and all of this. And so the frequency, we're calling all that energetic frequency, we're calling it all the vibration, that gets stored along with the toxins deep within you. So when it all comes out during the master cleanse and you're just releasing everything, then yeah, you can feel all these gnarly things that maybe you haven't felt in years. But that's okay. It's part of the process. Don't be afraid of it. Embrace it, because that is the purification process. So, not saying that you will, Rachel, but many people do. So, let's see here. Jerry, what's up, my friend? Got that picture? He said overwhelming abundance. All right. That's what we're talking about. So, spring is here. Out picking in the rain. Yeah, nice. Oh, that's the best time, man. I was just out there filming for you guys the electroculture updates and stuff like that. That video will be coming out before too long. Okay, well, a few more minutes and then we will begin the meditation, guys. We will begin the 10 minutes of the meditation. Vera Witch Lady says, OMG, it felt like October the last few weeks. Cold, 20C, and so much rain. What is cold? What is 20C? Because we all have very different gauges of what is cold. So, like Rachel, for example, in the UK, when she says, it's been blazing hot here, I know kind of what that means. That means warm, you know, because that's what they're used to, you know. There you have it. Says Master Cleanse will have you on fire when you sit. Yeah, it can. Yeah, I think I know what you mean. Vera, 68 Fahrenheit. Okay, that's not very warm for summertime. I mean, the middle of summer. Let's see. Creative Soil. Can you tell us what to plant next spring, or do we have to use last year's list? Let's see. What you will plant next spring. What do you mean exactly? No, I can make updates on all this stuff. If you guys have gardening video ideas, let me know, because I need more ideas. Matias, after a month of rain and moist weather, my tomatoes finally have blight spots. Yeah, that can happen. That can happen, and it has to do with the moisture and a number of other things, though. Yeah. The tomatoes, this is a great year for growing tomatoes around here, guys. It's been just wonderful. And the tomatoes are nice and plump and huge. Ursula, good to see you here, my friend. Anthony Luce says, looking forward to the Master Cleanse. All right. Graham, good to see you here. Says, food is about all they have to try to make them happier. Oh, yes. Talking about the emotional eating, that's right. It's like they need to, because we're hardwired to appreciate the foods and stuff. We can talk about this a little bit more in depth after the meditation. I think maybe we should. Ms. T, good to see you here. Don't be late with Nate. I like that. Greetings, Nate and Viking family. Send in high vibrations and strong positive energy. May you all be well, happy, and peaceful. Yes, my friend. Hello from Slickford, Kentucky. Sub to the new channel. Okay, good. Yes, guys, there is a link in the description to the new channel. We will be moving over there the very next time, because like I said at the very beginning of this, you're not allowed to make a live broadcast your first channel, or your first video on the channel, which I didn't realize until like yesterday. Yes, I'm going to release like on that channel. So subscribe to that channel, and then I'm going to release a, like a, overview, an overview, like a trailer. And so when you guys see that, when you guys hit the notification, because this is the Inner Circle tribe right here. So hit the notification to that channel, the Thrive Like a Viking channel. And as soon as you see the video pop up, please just click on it. Even if you can't watch it right now, just click on it and let it play, because that's what's important to the algorithm, okay? Because it's like a game to me now as well. I mean, it's a profession. It's what I'm doing actually as a profession, is social media. So I need this, or I want this to grow. You know what I'm saying? So, and this is how we do it, okay? This is how we do it. So, yes. Now, see how dark it is, guys? It's wonderful. So, let us switch gears a little bit, and we are going to... Ooh, okay, burger time. Yes, so we're going to do 10 minutes of meditation, guys. We got to get that in, okay? But burger time says, question, the UFO alien thing, think it's a psyop, interdimensional, extraterrestrial, or what? Definitely let us talk about that after the 10-minute meditation, okay? So, guys, because we got to stay consistent. It's all about consistency. When you're training the mind and you're trying to rewire the mind and your life, it's all about consistency. So let us get into the meditative state of mind, my friends. Sit in a comfortable position with the spine straight. That is what matters. The spine needs to be straight. It doesn't matter if you're cross-legged or sitting. It actually doesn't matter if you can do the full lotus position or not. It's nice, but doesn't matter. So, let us take together a few deep conscious breaths. Hold and release. Breathing fully in. Hold and release. Again, breathing fully in. Hold and release. One more, breathing fully in as deeply as you can. Hold, hold, and release. And now give the control of the breathing back to the intelligence of the body. No need to breathe in any particular way. Just allow the body to breathe exactly as it wants to. Notice how effortless the breath can become. Without making any effort at all, the body will breathe for you. Because the body wants to sustain you. The body wants you to thrive. Breathing in, breathing out. Wherever you are, it doesn't matter if there is noise in the background or in the other room. Just don't follow the noises. Don't try to make sense of anything. Just surrender all effort. And as you breathe in and out, bring your attention to the area at the tip of the nose, the ring around the nostrils, and feel the sensation of air as it flows in and out. There is no need to think of anything else. During this time, you do not need to plan what you're going to have for dinner. You do not need to think about who's going to pick up the kids from swimming on Thursday. None of that matters right now. I promise you it will still be there after the meditation. Let it all go. Breathing in, become fully aware of the sensation of the body breathing. The air as it flows past the nostrils and into the lungs, but also feel the lungs as they expand. How your shirt slightly moves against the skin as the lungs expand and contract. Breathing in, and let the air just fall back out. Now, many of you may find that even though you have made the agreement with yourself to focus only on your breath, that still the mind wanders away. This is due to a lifetime of allowing the mind to run wild, doing whatever it wants instead of what you want it to do. Through this practice, you will begin to step into your true power, which is vast and without limit. The first step is taking the reins over your mind. Each time that you find that your mind has wandered away into the past, remembering something, some argument, or some pleasant experience, or maybe it has wandered to the future, something you think is important or something you have to do. As soon as you notice the mind has wandered, just bring it back to the sensation of the breath. As you deepen in your practice, you will see thoughts coming into the mind. You will also see that the thought is like a cloud that is in the sky, but you are the sky itself. Thoughts will come and go, floating into the mind and floating out of the mind, while you remain ever present, ever watchful. Thoughts or sensations or memories, they will come into the mind, but you can just let them pass like a cloud passing in the sky, and return to the sensation of air as it flows into the body and out. As you sharpen your mind, this ability to notice what is happening will increase dramatically. We're almost finished, so really make an effort, which is actually a non-effort, to empty your mind for this last minute. No thought, no judgment about yourself, nothing. Even the sound of my voice, there's no need to try to make sense of it. The brain will do that automatically for you. Just allow this moment to be exactly as it is. Notice how grounded you feel. Notice how connected you feel as you become more and more sensitive to these energies. You can even sense the people meditating with us right now, even though we are separated by thousands of miles. We are all here in the ever-present now. You can feel this. Let us breathe together. Deeply inhale. Hold. And release. Breathing fully in. Hold. And let it go. Last time, breathing fully in. Hold. Hold. And let it go. Yes, my friends, I could feel you there. Wonderful. Let us always remember to hydrate. Before you think you're thirsty, hydrate. Okay, my friends, so many of you by this point will have noticed that your ability to empty the mind and thus focus on the single object of the breath, which is very subtle. There's not a lot of stimulation happening there. This is why we choose the breath, something that is not stimulatory. It's not music. It's not, there's all kinds of other meditations and stuff, but the breath is the most ancient of all. And it's for the reason that it's always with you. It is very subtle. It doesn't grab your attention. You have to focus your attention on it. But also the breath is what bridges the gap between what appears to be unconscious and the conscious mind. Because the breath is the one thing that you can consciously take control of it, and you can say, I'm doing it. I'm breathing in a particular way. Or I'm holding my breath, so I'm consciously doing it. But that's only for some time. Then, of course, it's also the thing that the body or the subconscious does for you. And so this is one reason that it is the primary tool in meditation, because it bridges the gap between what appears to be happening to you and what you are doing. And so all of this will become much more clear as you practice more and more. But many of you will notice by now, after just a few weeks, that your ability to focus on the breath is increasing dramatically, especially if you are in your day-to-day life doing it as often as you can think of it. Just a couple of times, even for 3 to 5 breaths, just focus. Even if you're standing in line somewhere, even if something is happening, doesn't matter. You can become aware of the sensation of air as it flows in and out. And this is going to train your mind. It doesn't take a long time. You don't have to meditate for 20 years and in a cave and all of this to unlock the immense power of the mind. You just have to be earnest in your practice. You have to be consistent, and you have to allow the practice to do what it wants to do. So let us see, my friends. So the let's see. So I did want to say something about the. Well, let's get to some of the questions. Let's see what you guys are talking about. How are you guys feeling? How was the meditation for you? Are you practicing the meditation? Is it because, guys, it is number one, the mind training. The mind precedes everything. And for those of you that have studied Buddhism or really any of the psychology, spiritual things, you will understand that this is true. And this is the mind precedes everything. And so with an agitated mind, your life and your actions are agitated. They're imbued with that agitation. And so the relationships that you have with others is going to be flavored by the agitated mind that you're carrying around. Likewise, if you have done the work within yourself to become healed and to become whole, then the peace that is your natural state, when that's allowed to shine through, that will flavor all of your experiences as well. The people that you come in contact with, they will feel that. They will be attracted to you in some way, but they're not sure how or why. But it's the peace, it's the energetic vibration. That's what they're attracted to. It's nothing to do with you, because there is no you ultimately. But it has to do with the energy, the vibration. And so the source recognizes itself within the person that is self-actualized. And so many people, even though it's the same source, it is totally clouded over by all kinds of storylines about what I think I am in my life and who I think I am and this life that I think that I have and all of that. It's all storyline. It's all stories that we tell ourselves. And yeah. Okay, let's see what you guys are talking about. So, Free Bird, hello, my friend. So, since I started daily morning meditation, I've been feeling more grounded and connected. Definitely. The morning is a great time. Really, if you guys are trying to make lasting change in your life or you want to feel the effects, the morning is such a good time because it sets you up for the day. This is why every morning I do calisthenics. 20, 30 minutes of calisthenics. Then I do the breathing techniques, which is meditation basically for 20, 25 minutes every morning. And it sets you up for the day. It energizes everything. And the calisthenics tell the body how to process the calories that you're getting throughout the day and how to, the muscle fibers, what to do during the day. It tells all of that. It sets you up for the right thing. And meditation does the same thing. The breathing techniques, the breathing meditation does the same thing with the mind. And this is what I have found to be true, my friends. So, yes, Brian says, such peace. Val, yes. Ms. T, serene peace, yes. PA says, am I the only one that when Nate says don't pay attention to background sounds, don't think about dinner, etc., actually gives attention to it? I know. Yeah, I know. I used to do that all the time when I was at the temple, the Indiana Buddhist temple, and I was leading meditations in person of like 30, 40 people and stuff. I would say sometimes that kind of thing and then I would say, so be sure that you never think of a purple elephant while you're meditating. And then I would ask them, and that during the meditation, then I would ask them afterwards, how many people thought of a purple elephant? And almost everybody would say, yes. That's how the mind works, guys. That's how the mind works. But it's not, you will see as you continue the practice that it's not important. None of that is important. What's important is what the practice is doing to the mind, the actual the connection between the connection. You will see that what it does, and that's what's important. So the observation and the bringing the mind back, that's what's the most important. As soon as you see, I'm thinking of a purple elephant, bring it back to the breath. And then you'll see, if you really, you might see the rest of the meditation, that purple elephant is trying to come into the mind. Doesn't matter. Don't beat up on yourself. Don't say, my mind is not strong. I'm not training my mind. That's not the point. The point is that you notice it and you keep bringing the mind back. This is the key to all of it. So, Burger Time says the picking up kids from the pool was interesting. Yeah, it's just things that pop into the mind, because I've heard so much of over the years of people, talking about that kind of thing. And they're like, well, I just couldn't focus because, on Thursday that I still don't know who's going to pick up the kids from swimming practice and yada, yada. I'm saying, okay, guys, guess what? All of that is still going to be there. You just put it on a shelf. Just take it and put it on a shelf. It will still be there when you are done. But for now, we are training the mind. We are training we're training the ego in many ways as well, as you will see. Kenny Green, another epic morning session for the books. Thank you. Yes, you're very welcome, my friend. Graham says, if people could only realize how distracted they are, they could undo a lot of their problems, but they're too distracted. Oh man, guys, that is a really good point, because in our day-to-day world, in this modern life that we're in, it is purposely done to us to try and get our attention span to be as short as possible. This is why meditation is the most important thing you can be doing, this kind of meditation, because it is counteracting all of the little 10-second sound bites and all of the, when you're watching television or movies and 1 second or 2 seconds and the scene cuts to something else. And our mind, the human animal mind, has never evolved or adapted to, it was never designed to deal or handle with that kind of thing or to experience that kind of thing. Think about it, guys. Up until just 50 or 100 years ago, everything that the human was observing was actually happening. You think of that. And so for thousands or millions of years, or however long you want to believe, a long time, okay, that's for sure. We can use our logic and we can say a very long time humans have been like this. And so for that length of time, whatever a human saw was actually happening for the most part. And so our subconscious and the way that we relate to the world has not developed any defenses against something like television, where all of this stuff is happening. We're seeing it, but it's not actually happening. It's not happening like the mind is thinking that it's happening. That's why people don't understand how crucial it is that you stop watching television, that you don't allow the advertisers into your mind. If you have YouTube, get the YouTube Premium, because the only thing I ever watch is YouTube. I mean, I don't have television, period, because I'm not letting them into my mind, because I've gone to the source. I've gone deep within, and I've examined over the years through deep meditations all of the thought patterns and where the sources of these beliefs are coming from. I've examined all of this within. And I've seen where it comes from, the image that is held in the mind. The brain stores information as images, not as thoughts or words. It stores information as images, even if you're not aware of it. And so the people that have developed television and that use that type of media understand this, of course. And so they understand that the television is a direct line into your subconscious. And the movements, all the cuts, this is the human psychology. And I've studied this, guys. I've studied this. And so the human psychology is when there's something new, the brain has to try and figure out, okay, what's happening here? It has to try and figure out what's happening here. And so it engages the brain involuntarily. And so having a cut in the scene every couple of seconds is keeping the brain engaged, because it's trying to figure out what's happening. It's trying to sort out, because back in the day, we had to immediately see if there was danger or something like that. If there was predator or prey, if there was food, we had to be able to quickly recognize a situation. And so this mechanism is still alive and well. We are still those animals, absolutely. Evolutionary, I don't even like that word, but like adapt, in terms of the organism, we are still that organism. And so we still have that thing, that mechanism within us. And so the television, when it boom, it's switching to all these different things. Watch people, okay? How many of you know that when they are watching TV, you will see people and they'll just be like, what? Oh, yeah. Yeah, you'll see people and they're totally hypnotized, guys. Watch a baby, watch like a toddler or something when like Blippy comes on, or like back in my day, it was Teletubbies and stuff like that. When all that stuff comes on, watch the facial expressions of the children. So they're just like totally hypnotized, not saying anything, eyes wide open, totally just zoom, because that's what it does. That's what it's designed to do. And so it's so important that we recognize this. And if you don't think that what I'm saying right here is like of absolute critical importance in our life, if we are to regain control and power and to awaken ourselves and our communities, remember, guys, awakening, the great awakening, it only happens on an individual scale. It only happens if you awaken. It only happens if I awaken. It only happens if each individual awakens. There's not going to be like a big blanket, like a spell that gets cast over everybody, and all of a sudden we all awaken and we're in some new earth. No, we have to make the new earth. We have to make it all happen. And how we do that is by going within and transforming and rearranging what had been done over a lifetime of unconsciousness, until we say, no, I am taking the reins. I'm taking the reins. This is it. Okay. Now, and so up until this, even if I'm 50 years old or 70 years old, doesn't matter. It's never too late. Take the reins, and then get them out of your mind. Get them out of your mind. Shut off the television and the advertisements. Okay. Like I said, I don't know if I said this, but if you've got YouTube, get YouTube Premium. Don't allow those ads in there, man. When I go to like my parents' house, even though now they got Premium, but before, when I would go somewhere and I would listen to somebody would want to show me something on YouTube, and then all of a sudden an advertisement would come on, I would feel like someone is assaulting my mind, because I don't get advertisements. I don't listen to the radio. I don't watch television, and I have YouTube Premium. And so there's virtually no real like commercial advertisements that come into my experience. And this is by design, of course, because they are not allowed in here, because I've taken the reins. And so when I do experience a commercial, I can feel its aggressiveness. Hey, come down to Grody Automotive, buy 4 tires anytime, blah, blah, blah. Like, man, why are you screaming in my face? Why are you yelling? This is not that urgent. This is not that important. Why are you screaming about me coming down to buy 4 tires from Grody Automotive? It's all a spell. Yes, Anthony. TV is the vampire of the brain. No to TV programming. Of course, it is, and I know you've all heard this, but it is why it's called programming. Okay, it is called programming because it is programming your mind. And when you go within, once you sharpen, yes, voltage nut, I will get to that question in just a moment. I'm on a rant right now. I feel passionate about it. But when you sharpen the mind like this, you will see that it is actually programming the mind. Literally, once you go within and unplug, you will see, man, so many beliefs, so many worldviews, so many things have been stenciled into your mind. It is, and when you go back and you study the KGB level of propaganda and of all these different things. I could go deep into that for a long time, okay? When you go back and study all of these things and read books from the 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s, stuff like that, about these projects that were happening, and you can see the effect of all of this now. You can see crystal clear the effect of all of this. And yes, so that is where people's beliefs, or what they think is their own belief, comes from being stenciled into their mind. And this is how you know the propaganda is working: is that people will tell you, well, here's what I believe about the president, or here's what I believe about this or that political thing, or here's what I believe about this or that. Well, how do you really know that? Okay, you know only what you've been told. actually. And I know for a lot of people that feel like they're super well informed, I know that they're not going to like this, and they're going to kind of reject that a little bit and say, well, no, no, no. I actually know what's going on. You know, the Republicans are blah, 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 or the Democrats are blah, blah, blah. You know, guys, it's not a left or right thing. It's the left wing, the right wing, same bird. It is, if anything, it's an up-down thing. It is a them and us thing, if anything. But guys, don't be distracted by any of that nonsense. You have to go within and you have to find the source. Okay. Getting off. Yes. So the UFO thing. Okay. Well, now, guys, remember, I don't listen to mainstream anything. I only watch selective YouTube videos where I'm learning stuff. And if there's too many cuts and all that stuff, I don't even watch it, because my mind has detransitioned from all of that. I used to be all, watch TV and stuff for years, for decades, but then once I started to understand all of this, now you are not invited into my mind, and so the only way to win is to not play. That's the only way to win with that. And so that being said, I don't really know what's going on with the whole, I think that there's like a UFO stuff and the Pentagon and all of this stuff. Guys, that's all theatrics. All of this stuff, it is like politics, and what's happening in the Pentagon and what's happening in the world stage of politics is a reality television show designed to distract you from things that actually matter, and designed to distract you from actualizing your true power. All these things are designed to keep you from realizing what you actually are. And this is the thing. And so it's all designed to just keep you in a level of fear, to keep you in a level of worry, and oh no, we're worrying about extraterrestrials now, and there might be, and yada, or is it the government and all of this? We don't know. The truth is, you don't know, you can't know. And so ultimately it doesn't really matter. Maybe there is the UFO sightings. I don't know. Maybe there is. I feel like there's definitely extraterrestrial life. I think that it is the epitome of human arrogance to even consider the idea that we are the only ones in the entire universe, all of the galaxies, and even this, I don't know for sure, because, of course, I've not seen galaxies. I've not seen any of that. It all makes sense logically to my mind. The kind of scientific, okay, planets, galaxies, and all of this, what we know about the cosmos, makes sense to me. So I feel this to be relatively true. And so when I think about extraterrestrial, I think, of course, there's that. If it happened here on Earth, in trillions of other planets and all this other stuff, surely it happened somewhere else. And to the people that are like, nope, we're the only ones, I think, okay. So I think that that's a very ethnocentric a way to view things. So this is nothing against you. If you do believe that, that's totally your belief. Neither of us can have any proof of either way, nor do we really need any proof, because, well, we'll get into that stuff later. But so for my opinion on that is that I don't really know if someone wants to tell me like what has happened. What has happened as far as the UFOs and stuff like that. I believe that the technology, like the people that are seeing, there's a little grainy, footage of something and all that kind of stuff, I believe is technology that is being tested and stuff like that. Because guys, for sure, take this, that the technology that exists is decades beyond anything that you will ever see in the public arena in any way. So we think that the computing power of an iPhone, or that you can store 5 terabytes on a tiny little thing the size of a grain of rice, and we think that that's crazy technology. In the underground private labs, and I don't mean physically underground, some of them are, but I mean underground as in not known, not public, not publicly traded, doesn't have a board of directors, not known. The finances is all private, it's all private. Those kind of laboratories and stuff, their technology is inconceivable to most of us. And so, yes, I believe that it would be technology that is maybe being tested in some way, all of that kind of stuff. But because, again, I think that it's human arrogance to think that people are going to come all the way across the galaxy, that they're going to have the technology to be able to travel intergalactic travel, and that they're going to make their way all the way to Earth, okay, and then crash in Arizona. They're gonna oops, we crashed. Whoops, well, we lost control because Earth. What? They lost control and crashed their thing here on Earth. Now that raises several questions. One, how did they get intergalactic travel and then all of a sudden just crash here on Earth? And then two is, what are they doing here? That's what we have to ask ourselves as well. What are they doing here? Why would they come? What do we have to offer a civilization that is obviously so much more advanced technologically than us? We have to wonder this. And as well, we also have to, and here's my personal take on the extraterrestrials being here and stuff. I think that, and I feel that a truly advanced civilization would have no desire to travel intergalactically. They wouldn't need to, because they would realize that all of creation, the immense power of the universe is already here. It's already available to you. Bliss is already, for lack of a better term, bliss is already available to you. Wholeness and deep peace and satisfaction, it is already here. So why need to go anywhere else? And they probably, a really advanced civilization would recognize the system that sustains them, and they would nurture it. They would have a thriving. They wouldn't build systems that destroy their planet and destroy, and colonize this and that, and then subjugate and subdue nature and all of that. They would work with all of that because they would understand that their survival is intimately linked to the survival of their whatever life support ecosystem they're a part of. And so they would, once they realized the light within, the extraterrestrials, they would have no desire to go to another planet. Why? Because everything is already right here. And so that's my thing. I think it's all, we're viewing the extraterrestrials from a very human state of mind. And that's what the human tends to do. Okay, guys, let's see what you are thinking. Okay, Brian says, we are one small planet in the outer ring of our galaxy and can just barely see the next ring. To think we are alone is arrogant. I completely agree, my friend. If you look at graphs of, okay, how far has any of our radio signals in all of our history of putting out radio signals and stuff, how far has any of that gotten? And you will see, if you expand out just to the Milky Way galaxy, you will see it's just this tiny little square. That's how far any of our transmissions or anything has gotten. And so, and then they expand to the galaxy, and then the cluster, and then the super cluster of thousands of different galaxies, and then billions of different galaxies. Come on. We're just, but that's part of the human thing. That's what the human mind wants to, the mind that is led by the ego mind that thinks that I'm a person that is separate from creation and that is somehow separate from. So the ego mind is always trying to confirm its importance. Yes, that I am important. And this is what the ego is always trying to confirm. The ego is actually very scared because it doesn't really exist. And so it's always trying to it's always trying to infuse itself, a sense of self, into things so that it can say, yes, I concretely exist. But it doesn't. This is the foundational structure of the human psyche. And so it drives a lot of the human actions and a lot of the human viewpoints. And, well, I'll let that be. Ms. T says technology is developed a long time before it even trickles down to the common mass. Oh, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Way long, especially now with all the, the pace at which technology is developing, even for us. And TC says, yep, they are decades ahead. Before any new technology is released, they have a way. Absolutely. And they have a okay, if you guys watch, I mean, I'm always watching and learning, always watching podcasts or like presentations and stuff. So if you watch this, who's the scientist that he looks like he's of Asian descent? He's American though, but he's got like gray hair. Michael Kotiak, I forget the exact name. He's very, very well known. He's been on History Channel and all that stuff. But he's kind of funny and stuff. So he was giving a lecture like 15, yes, Mikai Kaku. Yeah, I don't know how to say the name, but yes, that's the person. And very, very brilliant mind, and love listening to his thoughts and his perspective on things. And so he was given a lecture about 20 years ago about what the future technologies are going to be like. All right. And this is before real smartphones became crazy and all this stuff. This is when you still had the Razor flip phone and stuff like that. You know, that was cutting edge. Get that Razor. You know, I still got my Razor somewhere in one of the memory boxes. It was the first cell phone I got when I was like 21. And so he's given a presentation about what the future technologies are going to be like. And in there, he's describing all of these technologies that sound really wonderful, okay? That sound like, you know, in the future, you're not going to have to go to a cancer specialist because there won't be any cancer, because there will be technology that in your walls that will scan your brain and will scan your body and will be able to detect the cancer decades or years up to a decade before it manifests in the body. And it will be able to it will be able to send nanobots into the place and do a micro surgeries and things like this. And it will be so wonderful. And then he's talking about all this other technologies that will just be so wonderful. And yes, a lot of it is true. A lot of it has already come to pass because he knows he's tapped into a deeper level of the plan in some way. But what he never touches on is, yes, this technology exists and that it will exist, but who is going to have access to this technology? That's the key. Okay. And I almost wanted to comment, although I don't comment on videos really because I have my own channel I have to think about. But I wanted to say, okay, this is great, my friend, but you've completely not touched on the main topic about this technology, and that is who's going to have access to it and who's going to be denied access to it. So he's talking about all these wonderful life-saving things, but that's not going to be, and everyone's like, yeah, okay, let's all work to build this. Let's all work to build, because they were all IT people. And so they're all like, yeah, they were all inspired that they're going to help to build all this AI and all this new technologies. Okay, but they don't realize that they're not going to have access to it. It's going to be the other people that have access to it. So we have to be mindful of this kind of stuff, guys, with the technology. And we have to ask ourselves why. Why does the technology need to continue growing? And the main reason is that we are poisoning the ecosystem. We're poisoning the mother that sustains us, and we're destroying the life support system. And so we have to rely more and more on technology because we're destroying the greatest technology that ever could exist, and that is the natural world. So, okay, guys, Don says, still got my slide rule from high school. Yeah, really. Kids would not even know what that is. Brian says, until the machine wants to turn you off. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Till the machine wants to turn you off, or just until you just don't have access to it, because the people that control all of that, okay, yeah. So you want your kid to, so you think your kid has cancer, or the thing will scan you, okay? And so it says, hey, your 10-year-old kid has cancer. We have the technology, easily can fix that. But you don't have the right, you don't have the right stuff. You're not in the club. So you got to do this. You got to dedicate your entire life to working for me in some way. You have to dedicate your whole life to some kind of thing that I want you to do. This is the structure of how this will all work out, because that's the nature of the human ego mind. The mind that is still dominated by the ego, the sense of separate self, is going to try and accumulate power and to say, for me, for mine, because I want to grow and I want to be more. Because and so this is the nature of evil and of greed and of power, and all of this will proliferate. Technology will only amplify all of these things over time. Okay, so guys, the way that we can combat all of this, which is the way out of all of this, is to awaken. That's all that matters. When you awaken to your true nature, everything becomes clear, and there's no more worry. This technology and stuff, you all the way to your defense against all of it becomes crystal clear. There's nothing to worry about. Yes, there's nothing to worry about. So if you hear all of this stuff and you're like, "Oh my goodness, this is like really depressing, all this world that we might be living in and all this technology enslaving us and all of that." That's only one possible future, guys. That's not a guaranteed future. There's limitless, infinite sea of potential. That is what we are existing in, is an infinite sea of possibilities. So only if we are all individually and thus collectively focusing on this negative, terrible, outcome, is it even possible going to happen. So if we just go back to the infinite source that is within us and around us, the source of all things, if we truly realize that source as our self, then it's game over for all of that stuff, all those higher ups and all that stuff, because they're dominated by the ego mind. They're dominated by the little sense of self that is afraid and that has to acquire and hoard money and hoard power and hoard resources and has to kill others or has to, defend itself. They live in a state that is actually not desirous at all, because it is filled with fear and profit and greed and evil, all the horrible things. Okay, but for those of us that realize our true nature, we have a lifetime of peace. We have serenity within us. We have a sense of satisfaction, deep satisfaction with life. Okay, so those people have a black hole within them. And that is never, we don't want that, okay? Because that's a feeling of, it's like a hungry ghost that can never be satisfied. So when we realize the wholeness within, it all becomes clear. It all becomes clear. There's nothing to worry about, because you can't enslave all that is. You can't enslave the ultimate power of the universe, which is the source of your life, of your power. And so we can just do the things to realize this. Okay. Okay, guys. So let's see a few more. Yes, Nick says, healthy humans, the shepherds of the land, provide abundance and health, the place we live. Yes, absolutely, man. This is our natural state. And this is what we are designed to do. Okay. Knowledge is the only way, the way of the one. That is exactly true, my friend, the way of the one. Matthias says, the real solutions don't bring money to the bank. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And you can start to see, once you see how the world is sort of structured and all of this, then you see it everywhere. Okay, well, there's not going to be a solution for that because it's not going to be profitable, or there will be a solution, but it will be privatized because that will be the most profitable, of course. So, okay, guys, it is coming close to the end of this one, and truly now the next, so I'm going to, the link is in the description of this video to the Thrive Like a Viking channel. And that is where all the new stuff is going to be on. The Nate Muir channel is just going to kind of chill. And I'm going to release in the next, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, just an introductory video to that channel. And I would appreciate it if you would immediately, as soon as you see it pop up, immediately just click on it, watch it, or even if you don't want to watch it, just let it play and hit the thumbs up. And that way we can get it off to a good start. All right. And then next week at the same time, there will be the live Q&A or whatever this is. It will be on that channel. And then we'll get started. Yeah. So we're going to do all kinds of good stuff coming up. So I'm very excited for it. All right. And I want to see you guys all there. So hit the notification button. Okay. A lot of guys are saying subbed. Okay, good. This is what we want to see, guys. So if you like this kind of thing, subscribe to that channel, and we will be doing it more and more. Maybe we could do 2 of the lives a week. You know, once we get a good tribe starting to build, then we can do that. Okay. So Freebird says, yeah, wow, that was a fast hour. Have a great week, Nate and the Viking family. Yes, everybody have a wonderful week. Yes. Pam says, Job 33:4 says, New Version Bible, the Spirit of God has made me, and the breath of the Almighty gives me life. Absolutely. I can understand this very well, my friend. This is what we are saying. Voltage. All right. See you later, my friend. Vera says the channel went from 12 to 36. What, likes? Yeah. Yep. Lisa of Light, good to see you. Wild Bill, awesome show, my Viking brother. All right, yes. I might transfer over this one because this was a really good, I felt really, this was a good one, okay? So, yes, guys, we'll see you next week.